How do I share this?
Hi, how are you? Hey! Hi, Sharon. Oh my God, how are you? It's good to see you. Nice to meet you. Hi! Actually, okay. Okay, great! Oh, how's it going? How are you doing?
What time it is?
And what time it is?
Oh, usually around 12:15.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You might be a little bit behind. Hi! On everybody, next seat.
That's one of the mayor's office. Yes. We come in now, and there's also our detail sharing. Yeah.
You guys are up in the front. You're not going to be able to get through that way. You're going to have to go around. So guys, if you can like sit next to whoever like you're mounting the this way, yeah. Oh, so I don't care. It's just like if you guys like, so Jenny and Corky, you two are sitting together, so like take together sort of situation. Alana and the Shami are sitting together, so like you two together. Oh, it's here. Guys, can I have you move these 3 chairs down like a few inches? Oh, sorry, we're live streaming and Christina's in the way. We're live streaming. Oh, word? Okay. There we go. Now we can see the podium.
What are you live streaming it for? Like, where's it?
So like some of the mentors and stuff can't be here, and they wanted to watch. So now they get to watch. I sent the link on Slack in case you want to forward it to anyone. You can see I'm watching it now. Sharon, I sent you the live stream link. Sophia. I'm here. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Do you want to like sit next to me? Yes. Come sit next to me. It works out because you're in the speed. How are you? Excellent. I was talking to Kelsey about you yesterday. No, she's like stoked for you. Yeah, she's really happy for you. It's not like she's like, Sophia left me alone. No, she's like really happy for you. She's like, I think she got too busy and that's fantastic. And I'm like,
No, what happened is, like, I kept redesigning, I kept adding more stuff, and then I redesigned, and
Yeah.
then they kept adding, and I'm like, why? No, that's everything in there.
yeah. And then she kind of started figuring some stuff out. She's taken she's taken classes too. Really? I don't know who she is. I heard about that. How is that going?
It's so fun. But now I know how nice it is.
Yeah.
played the library. I was just
That's fun. That's so awesome. So you're learning things that I don't even know. Yeah, I do like front end PHP. I don't do like database stuff. So that's awesome. Yeah. You're gonna leave this job like as full stack. Yeah. Yeah. No, my friends are. Oh yeah, he came in school. This is like the Sony Snapchat gathering. Sony Snapchat Honest Company gathering. I'm live streaming right now, by the way. Yeah, it's funny thing you say. Yeah, it's funny. I think I'm making a mess of this table.
I know, I was like, okay. I was like, that's
Is Dawn in the front? Yeah, she's Dawn was in like winter of 2017. Dawn. You know where you are. You're here at the end. You have let's see, program. So you're going to be here. Yeah, she just texted me. Wait, why am I short one?
Good morning. Good morning. Hi. So we're starting a few minutes late. I know there's still people arriving. But I want to welcome you all here this morning. Got some nerves going here. I'm delighted to welcome you all here to St. Joseph Centre this morning for the graduation of this Codetalk class. My name is Sharon Plunkett, and I have the privilege of running the Codetalk program. Woo! I really hope many of you have experienced being part of a super team, as I do every day. Our Codetalk team is the sum of some very unique and amazing people. We have our case manager, Kimberly Hamilton. Where are you, Kimberly? Kimberly is amazing. She takes care of everyone. She clears all the hurdles that are in our way. And she does it with a sense of ease and love. So thank you. Our instructors, Chrissy Padilla, and Rachel Manning. Chrissy and Rachel assume the daily significant work of presenting the curriculum in such a way that it be understood. Am I getting a lot of feedback?
Yeah.
A little reverb. I'm not sure what that means, but. Should I turn it down?
I don't know if it's control here.
Can you hear me all right? Yeah, you can?
Maybe with a little delay.
Okay, a little delay. Okay, well, let's hope that's the only thing that goes wrong with that. So, I'm not actually sure about how that works, so. Don't need it at all. So Chrissy and Rachel, thank you for bringing your wisdom, your humor, your brilliance, and yourselves every day to this task. You make magic happen. And to our teaching assistant and newest team member, Dawn, who in a very short space of time has made herself completely indispensable to us all. Ladies, I'm grateful to you and in awe of the work that you do. And more than that, I'm grateful that I get to work alongside you every day. St. Joseph's Center is a rare place doing rare things. In our city, we are a place to come for support, for help to get back on track. We do everything we can, and we do a lot, because we know that dignity and hope for a better future are necessary for everyone, no matter our stories. In Codetalk, we challenge the notion that we are in any way at all defined by or limited to our circumstances, by the things that happen to us, by our histories. It takes real courage and grace to give up excuses and our reasons why we can't. It's too hard. The world isn't a fair place. Things shouldn't be the way that they are. It takes courage to put down the armor that once kept us safe, but no longer serves us, so that we can move forward beyond all that to become who we really are. Creative, brilliant, giants. It takes courage, resilience, and grace, and grit. The women graduating from this Codetalk class today have demonstrated their willingness to go beyond what they imagined they could do. They epitomize grace, and they will go out into the world and make their marks. I would like right now to invite two of our current students about to graduate up here to share a little bit about their Codetalk journey. Please welcome Codetalk students, Ashani Fraser and Alana Wright.
Hi, I'm Ashani. I would like to start by thanking each and every one of you for being here. Every person in this room is a huge part of the reason my cohort and I stand before you today. From the friends and family members who pushed us to go to class every day, to the guest speakers who came in and mentors who motivated us and made yourselves a resource for us. to the case manager, Kim, who was there to help us work through any roadblock that could have prevented us from being here, to the instructors, Chrissy and Rachel, and the TA, Dawn, who dedicated themselves to ensuring we learn not only the fundamentals of web development, but also the practice of mindfulness and being aware. To our amazing program manager, Sharon, who believed in us when we doubted ourselves. Sharon saw the potential in all of us. She knew from the beginning that on this day, she would present to you the Codetalk cohort she is proud to stand behind. Looking back at where I was before I started Codetalk, I can proudly say to you, I am not the same person. Before I began this program, I felt lost and unfulfilled with my life, but I knew I wanted better. When I heard of Codetalk, I didn't really know what coding was or what to expect, but I applied anyway. After my first interview, I was still unclear what to expect out of the program, but I knew this was where I wanted to be. And I was determined to get in no matter what. Once accepted, I vowed to dedicate 100% of my time to the course. The first week of the program, things started off slow. I just remembered Sharon and the instructors saying it's gonna be hard like a million times, but I don't think they could have said it enough to prepare us for how hard it was actually gonna be. However, once we start working, I wasn't upset that I was practicing or studying so much because I liked what I was doing. Before, I never felt like I could create something that looked good because I can't paint or I can't draw, but I've created some pretty great projects in Codetalk that I'm extremely proud of. It wasn't easy. None of the things I learned prior to Codetalk really mattered. I was learning skills that were completely foreign to me. I remember thinking at times, I would never get this, or I would never be good enough to get a career doing this. All of the guest speakers and my mentor, Ayana, comforted me when sharing their stories of imposter syndrome and how everyone experiences it, but it doesn't mean you don't belong. My mentor was always there to encourage me whenever I felt unsure about something. Knowing I have so many people rooting for me to win made me work even harder. I wanted to do my best, so I came to class early and stayed late. After class and on weekends, I was online looking for more resources to further my understanding of what I was learning in class. The Codetalk program and everyone involved forced me to work on becoming my higher self. My confidence has risen immensely from being in a room with so many talented individuals. I realized my ability to keep up and perform right on the side. In Codetalk, I was shown a constant reminder that I'm not alone. In life, things happen, but if you have the drive, or Sharon would say grit, to overcome these obstacles, success is at your fingertips waiting for you to grab. I wanted that success, so I pushed myself to limits I didn't even know I had. Now I can say all those early mornings and late nights have finally paid off. With the skills I've gained at Codetalk, both technical and non-technical, I'm ready to start a new chapter in my life. I will cherish the memories I've made here, and I will never forget each and every one of you who helped me on this journey. I would like to introduce my colleague, Alana Wright.
Hello all, my name is Alana Wright. I am overwhelmed and yet honored to be here at this exact moment today. The journey of my life and the series of events that led me to be here are full of ups and downs, lefts and rights, but they are what makes me the woman you see here today. I was at a point in my life where I wanted to give up, all because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my life. Not happy with the quality of how I was living and allowing my mistakes, my past mistakes to be the cause and reason for my self-pity. Drained from the mediocrity of the day-to-day, I started choosing not to care about anything anymore. Conflicted with my right now and my tomorrow, I was completely at a standstill. Weakened by the self-doubt that was instilled in me by ex-peers, I began to question my worth. The ridicule and the scars that I received from the abusive behaviors of others also played a part in my self-doubt, and I tried to overcome it. Bounded by the fruits of my own corruptive past labors haunted me. Losing myself in the shadows of others, the ones that are supposed to protect you. All of these factors all of these factors fed into what I thought of myself. and it played a major role in the progression of my life. I knew I needed to change, but I wasn't sure what it needed to be. When one door closes, another one opens. But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door, we don't see the other ones that which have opened for us. I've heard this quote many times and understood it, but never really needed to apply it to my life. Until I found myself doing just that, dwelling upon a door that closed on me, not understanding why I was rejected. This caused me to fall into a state of depression. As I searched for several resources and outlets throughout the city, I came across the St. Joseph Center. And within the St. Joseph Center, I found Codetalk, a tech boot camp for women, which sounded great, but that wasn't for me. I'm not smart enough to do a tech coding program, and I definitely didn't have time to go back to school, or so I thought. But something about the program did intrigue me, so I attended the informational meeting and met Sharon. To my surprise, I was a great candidate, and I was accepted into the Codetalk program. Still unsure what to really expect, I went to the first day of class. And this is when I saw that I wasn't alone. 11 other nervous ladies, nervous, scared, vulnerable, doubtful, sat around me, sharing similar stories, hardships, and backgrounds, all with the same common purpose and goal, to change their life's trajectory and to enhance the quality of their selves. Even though this made me feel more comfortable, I still wasn't all the way convinced that I belonged here. The challenges of the program tested my wit. And as the weeks went by, still dealing with the complex traumas of my own life, I was scared to trust and to believe in myself many times along the way. Eventually, I was able to open up and let my guard down, allowing myself to learn, absorb all I can in the 16 weeks course. This is when I saw that I really began to have a love for Codetalk. Life has a funny way of showing you things that you may not see for yourself, but they still place it in your path. My rejection was a redirection, and my redirection was Codetalk. I see now that the door had to close so that Codetalk's door could open, offering a whole new world of possibilities, opportunities, and chances that I never saw for myself before. This journey that we call life has been a tough road. Our struggles make us stronger, and everything that we go through are experiences, and from these experiences, lessons must be learned. We grow wiser from them, curious about the unknown and excited about the what if. This has taught me to stay versatile and don't limit myself. Take risks and chances on myself that can and will potentially improve the quality of my life. I am and was determined not to continue to let my past define me. Tired of surviving and wanting to thrive. I had to take a chance on myself, take control of my life, and give it some direction. The experience here at Codetalk and the camaraderie of these women was just what I needed and at the exact time I needed in my life. With tenacity, confidence, motivation, courage, we can accomplish anything. We are the roses that grew from the concrete. We are the diamonds that are formed under pressure. And once all the dust settles and clears, we'll see how bright our futures will really shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Shani and Alana. That was beautiful. It is my humble delight to invite the President and CEO of St. Joseph Center to speak with us this morning, Dr. Felicia Adams Kellogg.
You can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need this. What a great morning it is. What a wonderful day to celebrate you. And am I talking loud enough? Can you hear me? Okay. I was thinking about you, and I always get a chance to share the graduations, and I always reflect on the time that we've had together, considering what I should say on your last day with us. Not really your last day, but your day of celebration with us. And the word that kept coming up for me was light. I remember when I came into the room and I saw you, I saw light. The thing about light during tough times is it gets kind of dampened, right? Because you can't really see the light. And people can't see your light when you're hurting sometimes. Until you take a step forward for yourself. And you start to break through that shell that's maybe been protecting you. That's kind of been that cover. And little bits of light, they start to shine through. And we see it in the interviews, and we see it in the classroom with you, and we see it when you're struggling. And as you've been working your way through Codetalk, I can see that more and more of that armor has been broken up, and more light is shining through. And you know, the thing I relate to light is healing. They coincide. Because when you open up, light gets in and light gets out. And the thing that resonated with me is that I not only want you to keep shining, but I also want you to shine the light for someone else. I don't know why I'm telling this group that. Maybe it's because it's not just the light for you. Oh, it's so important to have light for ourselves. That's the beginning of the healing process. But there's just the rumblings inside of myself that I'm beginning to realize our responsibility is so great to each other. Not to weigh us down or to put the armor back on, because you know we're getting better at figuring out who's good for us, right? That doesn't put our light out. But for the people who need us to see the light. Codetalk helped you see your own light. Helped you break through some of the sadness and despair and disappointment so that you can see your purpose. You can see why you're here. Someone else will see that when they walk in your light. Something about your teachers and the light that Sharon brings into that room. It's a light that's not just for herself. It's a light that heals. And so when you think about that, when you go into a space, even when you're afraid, and I admitted to you, I get afraid. I still have to know that someone's watching me, someone's looking for light. Someone's looking for light that they don't have for themselves. So they need to walk in my light. So I don't want you to go back to using armor to protect your life. I want you to keep using it. And I want you to use it for yourself. And I want you to use it for others. And I want you to keep pressing. I want you to keep seeing the next. There's something about light. Sometimes all you can see is right now. the tips of your toes. Then it expands if you let it. You start to see, oh, my purpose wasn't just right here. It was way out there. So I don't want your light to be limiting. I want you to use this in your training, and I want you to let the light take you. I want you to breathe through it. I want you to walk in it. I'm so proud of you. Proud of you letting us in and letting us be a part of your healing process. You'll have to convince someone someday to trust you so you can help them too. And you'll be able to tell them it's okay. Won't you? I love you very much. Very, very proud of what you've done. I'm proud of your courage. And I see your light.
Thank you very much, Alicia. So, throughout the program, the students learned and produced work in a range of forms and disciplines. By the way, there's Kleenex up here if anyone needs it. The students are now going to walk us through some of the project work that they completed. So please welcome up here, soon-to-be graduate, Christina.
Thank you, Jared. Hi, I'm Christina, and I'm going to talk to you about the importance of a portfolio and how you can use it to show your skills and personality. A great way to present yourself is through storytelling. It's effective in showing who you are, where you come from, and where your future goals are. You can think of your portfolio as a dating profile and as a way to meet potential suitors, aka jobs you want to work at. Oh my God, you also want to get married and live on a corgi farm with no kids too? Swipe right. At Codetalk, we all received domain names, which means we all got a spot on the internet where we were able to upload the work we've accomplished through the program. We each built our portfolio on a content management system called WordPress. Then we were able to customize our sites with child themes or custom themes. In other words, WordPress is a tool that organizes your digital content, whether it be projects, writing, or other sorts of work you want to present to the world. I created a custom theme for my portfolio and coded it with the help of plugins, custom CSS, and Google. Plugins are like apps you can add to WordPress to help build your site. A good portfolio shows your thought process and the story behind each project. Some of my portfolio pieces highlight progress I made, while with other pieces, I put a narrative behind my design. Like, who was I thinking of when I created my project? And why would this be useful for them? I really wanted the site to be a proper representation of me, and if you know me well, you know that I love the small details, and I love really cute things. I wanted my portfolio to be able to portray these traits about me, and the type of energy I present in real life. Through research, I was able to custom detail every part of my site, from the colors of each page, to the site icon, the animation, and even my cursor. I got a lot of my inspiration from picture books and characters like Miffy the Bunny. I also tried to find a font that would complement and elevate my portfolio from being too facetious. Lastly, I decided to include my art and music into my portfolio because they're hobbies I'm passionate about, and they add to my story. I wouldn't want to pursue a career on these mediums, but I'm always sharing them on social media anyway, so it's easy to compile. I put a lot of myself and heart into this portfolio, and it's something I'm very proud of. Thank you. And now we have
graphic designer on a team project to develop our travel concierge website, and on the team, I had my classmate Jenny in charge of user experience, Courtney for quality assurance, Ashadi, the web developer, Phoenix, our project manager, and I, the graphic designer. So my role entailed looking for the images, the colors, the fonts to use on the site, and making it responsive across all devices. When I was first assigned this role, honestly, I kind of lost it. And that is because I had the fear of having to design for someone else, but also not believing I had the design I made. However, this was supposed to be an experience that would teach me the dynamics of working in a team. And believe me, despite the ups and downs, it is great working on a team, and I had fun. So I decided to approach this project with an open-minded heart, and also trust the confidence my instructors had in me when I started in this role. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Dawn. But I also listened to Sharon's constant reminder, Agnes, you got this. And as you can all see, she was right. I got it. So I then got my inspiration from other websites, magazines, and also the environment around me to come up with this beautiful website with my team. It was an honor working with you ladies, and I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of my work too. And after this project, I realized I had it in me to come up with the designs, and I look forward to any more projects that may come up and challenges that may arise. Thank you. And now I'll introduce these amazing ladies, Gillette and Mercedes, to present their work. Thank you.
Good morning to you all. My name is Gillette Navarro, graduate of Codetalk. It is a privileged experience to be part of Codetalk community, where women are given the opportunity to learn how to code by using script languages such as CSS3, HTML5, and JavaScript. Within 3 months, we have learned a lot from building responsive sites to put the site online. Can you imagine? Starting from not knowing how to code, now I feel confident to get into the workforce with these necessary skills in order for me to re-enter the technology field. In our first project, my classmate Mercedes and I worked together along with Alana Wright as a project manager, Catherine Lee as a lead developer, Elvia Ramos as a designer, Christina Cho as a UX designer, to build a website utilizing WordPress as a content management system. We had to create a website for an interior designing service called Iconic Interior Design. Our client provided us details and similar aspiring website she wanted us to build. My role in this project was project coordinator or project assistant. I assisted the project manager with teams collaboration and helped other teams member with various tasks to ensure that our site was up and functioning by its deadline. The biggest challenge I had was the wearing different hats, because it required me to keep up with individual progress, understand what they're working on, how I can contribute. However, I found that communication is a way to reach out and understand each other. I use Slack, emails, and communication tools to reach out with my teams. I found that I'm resourceful, like researching, and enjoy working with different personalities and different teams. I believe that this role as a project coordinator has helped me prepare for a career in technology. I feel that skills that I have learned from this project I will be able to apply to professionally to any team team effort. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mercedes. And I'm gonna be discussing my role. Oh. Hi, I'm Mercedes, and I will be discussing my role in this project as content manager and quality assurance. As a content manager, I was in charge of adding written content, uploading media for our website, making sure images were resized and formatted properly so that our galleries were functional and met our client standards. The quality assurance portion of my role focused on making sure that the site was error and bug free. My job was to break the web page into parts and test them for functionality, responsiveness, and to make sure they display well on all platforms like tablets, cell phones, and laptops. In addition, I needed to ensure that all clickable items such as buttons, links, and icons were supposed to did what they're supposed to. Either they expand when you click on them or they lend you to the right page. The goal of this work is to provide the best user experience for our visitors. To wrap up this process, we finalized our project by installing the necessary plugins for our website to improve visibility in search engines and to secure our website. So people can, to improve our search engines so people can find our awesome work. And working in this group project gave me a better sense of what it takes to create a website for our client as a team. My classmates are amazing, and being in this group helped me learn from everyone and discover my own talents. I also want to take the time to thank all the instructors and Sharon for their support.
Hello, my name is Elvia Ramos, and for our second team project, we had to create a website for electronic dance and indie pop record label named Bright Light Records. For our team project, I was assigned the role of project manager. My first instinct was, oh no, I'm responsible for the team project. It was a role I knew that was going to be very difficult, because the project manager is responsible for planning out the project, has to know what needs to be done, who's going to do it, and when it needs to be done. The project manager assigns the tasks to the team members and is responsible for communicating with the team and the client. I accepted the role of project manager and quickly gained confidence because I realized I was working with a team of very talented women. I knew I had a very strong team working with me. Alana was our user experience designer. Phoenix was our graphic designer, and Agnes was our lead developer. And Gillette was our quality assurance and content manager. To prepare for the role, I did some research online and I consulted with a friend that was the lead developer. I was excited and I felt prepared for my first day as a project manager. Was I in for a rude awakening? All my preparation just went out the window. On the first day, I was so overwhelmed with the workload. We were given a very short time to create a custom website. We were informed that we had guest speakers coming to the classroom, which would limit our lab hours. And we had a scheduled field trip, and we had the client informed us that she would be out of town for the first few days of the team project. I definitely felt overwhelmed. It took me a few minutes to regroup, and slowly I started to prioritize and assign everyone their tasks so we could begin the work. Every team member was very diligent in getting their tasks done, yet our major setback was the communication between the client and myself. Our client was out of town for a convention and was not receiving the emails I was sending her. And as a team, we had done our work, and we felt we were unable to move forward because our work for the website needed to be approved by the client. I was told the files I was emailing were too big and they were being sent to her spam folder. This was a good real life scenario.
It set us back, but gave us a feel of how we will encounter challenges in the workforce that are out of our control, but somehow you still have to find a way to move forward. As a project manager, I learned that in order to be successful, you have to have good communication skills. The way you communicate determines how people react to you and hear what you have to say. Also, it's important to have a team that is unified and willing to work together to get the project done. Each member needs to be actively involved in the project, and interaction amongst each other and the project manager is very important. And last but not least, it's very important to meet the deadlines so the client can be satisfied. I will now introduce my classmate, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Elvia. And hi, everyone. My name is Jenny. Thank you so much for coming here today and celebrate this beautiful day with us. So my role in this project was the project manager, which was new to me. I liked the responsibility and wearing the many different hats. It was a great experience to interact with a variety of personalities, and I can definitely see myself in a leadership role in the future. As the project manager, I handled all communication with clients, made sure everyone was staying on track, and stepped in anywhere the assistance was needed. In addition, I was assigned to be the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master champions a project, provides guidance to the team and product owner, and ensures all practices are followed by team members while utilizing agile methodology. With the agile method, the team met frequently to make sure everyone is aligned on who is doing what. And how the software is actually being developed and giving an update of the progress. For this project, I had a team of 6 roles. The project manager, which was me. Then we had the UX designer, Courtney. And we have the graphic designer, Ashani. Lead developer, Christina. And the QA content manager, Kat. And then we have the project coordinator, Mercedes. There you are. As you have been hearing today, each role had its challenges and opportunities, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to work with this beautiful team, and we accomplished such a great project under a short time or period. I will now hand over to Courtney, who is the UX designer, and she will explain more about user experience design.
Hi everyone, my name is Courtney Angadi, and I'm here to talk to you about my role as a UX designer. What is a UX designer, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. UX stands for user experience, which is the overall experience of a person using a product such as a website or computer application, focusing on how easy or pleasing it is to use. And as a UX designer, my primary goal is to create a design that is easy to navigate, purposeful, and is a stress-free experience. This included thoughtful consideration concerning placement of the navigation bar, its elements, creating an experience that requires minimum effort and is aesthetically pleasing. The goal is to keep visitors on our site and have them engaged. The NEU project was a process that started with creating user personas. They're hypothetical users. I create the user personas so that I can create without a biased perspective. I really imagine what the target demographic would want, what their life is like, and what their interests are, and tailor the design for them. Next, I create a sitemap, which is a document showing where all the content should be placed on the site. After that, I move on to low fidelity wireframes, starting with sketches and moving into the sketch application and putting it on There we go. As you can see there. Okay, so I created 4, and this is the one that we picked. And once we picked one, we moved forward with that and created high fidelity versions of them. Once I got the green light from the project manager, the graphic designer, and the client, I move on to add the colors and revisions that are requested and create the high fidelity one. That turns into a clickable prototype that I created in Vision. This is a realistic view version of the site that clients can interact with, and it's very similar to a live site. Once I get the client's approval, then the site is handed over to our front-end developer, which is Christina, and she brings the site to life. I really liked my job as a UX designer, and I felt I was really able to utilize my creative skills. I did feel a little overwhelmed at first because everyone is waiting on me to create the foundation for which we build our site on, so they can do their parts and finish this beautiful site. Everything did work out well, and I'm really proud of my team and of myself. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so we are here today to graduate these incredible people. And what we're going to do right now is present their certificates, recognizing the work that you have done while in Codetalk. So I would like to invite up here to present the certificates on behalf of St. Joseph Center, Dr. Alicia Adams-Callum, and on behalf of our partner and friends at Snapping, Claire Reinhardt. So, Agnes Nakalembe, congratulations. And if anyone wants to take a picture. Alana Wright. Johnny Frazier. Congratulations, Johnny. Christina Cho. Elvira Ramos. Courtney Agati. Gillette Novato. Congratulations, Gillette. Jenny Field. Congratulations, Jenny. Happy Louie. Congratulations, Catherine. Christine Vega. Congratulations, Christine. And Micaiah Chinchilla Terry. Congratulations, Micaiah. Thank you. I'd like to invite the instructors, Chrissy and Rachel, up here right now to present a special award. So through the program, we have some pretty high requirements that, they make it there every day, Monday through Friday, from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and that, if they have a headache, they make it. If there's traffic, they make it. Anything going on wrong in their life, they make it. Nothing stops them. So we have 2 students in particular that, made it to class every day on time, and we could always rely on. So we just wanted to present 2 special certificates. The first one for Agnes. And the second one to Albia. Congratulations. So I would actually like right now, from last session, to welcome back graduate Sophia Nambuera. About her experiences since she graduated from Codetalk in May. So Sophia.
Hi everyone. Oh my god. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So I want to thank Codetalk for the opportunity they gave me. They changed my life in a way you cannot imagine. I don't know if some who was here from last graduation they do remember me, but they transferred me from. I was actually a caregiver before I started Codetalk.
Nothing.
Hello?
Yes. Sure. Turn the speaker. Turn the speaker.
Sorry about that.
You got this.
Yeah. Alright, try it now. Hello? Well, I'll try to be loud. Okay, so I was a caregiver before I joined Codetalk, and I was a caregiver throughout the whole process. I would come to school, and then go and work at night, come back to school in the morning. But they transferred me from a gracious caregiver to a very good developer, and I'm still working on that. And I'm a big dreamer, but I did not dream about being at Sony this year or any time in the near future, but I am now in time at Sony. I have the best manager. My manager is right there. I'm very grateful for anyone that invests their time into Codetalk, or anyone that comes in, anyone that puts in any kind of resources into Codetalk. It changes our lives. It is light and it's light and hope to us. Just being an intern at Sony changed my life okay, so when I was almost done with Codetalk, I started getting real, like, okay, so I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know what's going to happen, and my friends were like, well, don't worry, just go back and start doing caregiving. It was just 5 months of your life. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like I started getting scared, but then I got the opportunity to go for an interview to Sony,
I just want to thank anyone that gives us an opportunity to put our foot into the door, because it might be 5 minutes of your time just to interview someone, but it is everything to us. I don't imagine myself being where I am today. It's not like I'm ready to life, but, but I never dreamed of being here right now. So my advice to the graduates, please, I know how it feels right now, that go to meetups, I'm not going to meetups, go and connect with people. You can learn something from everyone, even the person who knows everything today, they didn't know anything at all at some point. So you should be able to learn something from everyone. So one day I went to a meetup and I was trying to learn about 888. So I met this guy and he knows everything about 7, but it's like, I'm not doing 888. So I was like, you know what, just tell me something about 7. And some of the things he told me, I actually used them in 888. It's a little bit different, but it's almost the same. So you have something to learn from everyone. And the other thing is, be firm with your goals, but be flexible with your tactics. If you go somewhere and they're asking you to do what you think is if you think you can do more than what they're asking you, show them that you can do what they want you to do. Then they'll give you more work to come up and all things like that. And so I've always on LinkedIn, and I've been I follow a lot of people with very good positions, and there's one that I wanted to let everyone know, it's the 5-hour rule. If you're not spending 5 hours per week learning, you are being irresponsible. But you have to understand how you learn. It's not just about trying to learn something, it's about knowing that actually the 5 hours you're spending, you're actually learning something. And also, when we got done, I looked through a lot of applications with job descriptions, and they had 10 things that they required, and I had 6 of them, and I would freak out, and I wouldn't want to apply or anything like that. But the most important thing is, if you know the 6, you should be able and willing to learn the 4. Knowing the 6 is as important as your willingness and readiness to learn the 4 in the shortest time possible. But a very closing remark, I want to thank everyone that helps us. Just going through the whole program is everything, but after the program itself, we're still in the place where you need to find someone to take you out somewhere. And we are very hardworking. I'm sure all these ladies are very hardworking because the program is really hard. And thank you. Thank you.
So, in closing, I would like to invite Claire Reinert, our Codetalk partner, supporter, and friend from Snap Aid, to say a few words.
Very nervous. This is a very strong crowd. Hi everyone. My name is Claire Reinert. And first and foremost, thank you for the honor of being able to be a part of this celebration. It's humbling to be surrounded by so many impressive individuals. I've been at Snapchat for about 3 years, and in 2016 is when I first learned about Codetalk, and I jumped at the opportunity to participate. As soon as I met the first cohort and all the people that were running the program, I was hooked. There's something that is so special about this program. It's undeniable. You feel when you walk in the room, and I personally feel it when I leave. Every single time that I come and talk to a group or participate in a QA, boot camp, or anything, I leave more energized than when I came into the experience because of what everyone brings. I've been afforded a lot of opportunity and privilege in my life, and I firmly believe that we all have a responsibility to strengthen our communities in whatever way we're capable of. And for me, currently, that means that is growing the diversity in tech. So this program is something that is very, very close to my heart. Our mission at SNAP states that we contribute to human progress. Personally, this program is what makes that real for me. Every cohort I've had the opportunity to meet and work with has shown kindness, perseverance, creativity, and sheer grit. I mean, grit has been thrown around a lot today. I think that we all, something we universally agree. It's been inspiring to say the very least. For that reason, I really have to thank every single one of you for inspiring me and everyone in this room to be better. Speaking of inspiration, last year I was part of the mentorship program and had the very, very good opportunity of meeting Karen. Most of you guys know Karen. If you don't, you should. She will make it life better. She's remarkable, and I'm pretty sure that I was actually the mentee because I think I probably gained more than she did the time together. But she's a great example of how successful this program can be. And I mean, she's thriving, and it's just fantastic to see that progress. So in closing, I'm an athlete, so my quote book is very skewed towards that direction. To quote Michael Jordan, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. Keep making it happen.
Thank you, Claire. We just want to acknowledge a few people, and Catherine is actually here to acknowledge people without whom this program would not happen and certainly would not thrive. So this is Catherine Lee, and she's going to acknowledge a few people.
All right, thanks for hanging on, guys. We're almost finished. So, my name is Catherine, and I'd like to give thanks and acknowledge some of the special people that really contribute to making this program a success. Firstly, I want to give thanks to everyone at SNAP Inc., especially Evan Spiegel, Mary Ritty, and Camille Spalding, who couldn't be here today but sent her love. To everyone at SNAP who contributes to our program, thank you for putting your weight behind us so that we can all thrive. It matters, and we truly couldn't do it without you. On behalf of my classmates, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thanks to our mentors. Emily, Roland, Lara, Natasha, Samantha, Anham, Savannah, Romeo, Meng Meng, Ayana, Davika, Yuriana, Jeb, and my personal mentor, Lucas. Thank you. To our friends at Stone Pictures Entertainment, we are profoundly grateful for the positions you have created or opened up for us, and for giving us a chance to prove ourselves. You've changed the game for Codetalk graduates. Yes. Thank you, Nadia and Rachel. Thank you, Shaheen. Thank you, Abhishek, for sharing your stories and opening the door for us. And thank you to Deb at Outlaw Films for your friendship, support, and being a catalyst. Furthermore, thanks to our awesome friends at the Honest Company, especially Kim, Joanna, Vani, Anne, Courtney, and Mundy for the amazing day in your space. We We learned so much and took away, so much from our visit. A special shout out to the Honest Company PV team, Melanie and Maple, for coming to Codetalk to share your expertise, makeup, and beauty tips with us. Thank you, Jill and LSA at Digital Karma for recognizing us, and a special shout out to Heidi in San Francisco at Sephora. Thank you, Nicole at Upcomers, for joining forces. In addition, thanks to all the Headspace support. Jessica, Priya, and Lauren for teaching us about UX and product design and hosting us at Headspace for the day. And last but not least, thank you to our amazing teachers, Christy, Rachel, and Dawn. And our amazing case manager, Kim. And lastly, our amazing program manager, Sharon. To everyone who pitched in, lent your time, your expertise, and yourselves to help out. Thank you.
So everybody, we're concluding the formal part of the proceedings right now. All that is left is for me to invite all of the graduates. Congratulations, by the way. In the meantime, everybody please grab some lunch, stay and mingle, say hello. Thank you so much for being here today. It means everything to us. Your friendship, your support, thank you. So have fun, enjoy.
Rachel. Oh, sorry.
Lunch up. I'm sorry. Thank you. Cheers! Cheers! Codetalk!
Sharon, will you hold up this?
Oh. Yeah, we're not done yet.
One more, guys. Can you look at my camera? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone good?
Yay. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my Oh, is it really? Yeah. I'm not surprised because I remember asking it. I think it has. I don't know. Rachel, is this for Sharon? Do you think?
That's Sharon's phone. Yes, there's 3 people watching us right now, so like wave goodbye.
Okay.